What's going on, legends? It's Laz here, and just a quick apology for this talkover. Shouldn't be a talkover. Unfortunately, me being me, I didn't check my equipment, and my audio device that I actually record my voice on was actually full. Got 27 seconds worth of audio, which is just crackling and me putting a helmet on, so I was a bit spewing. So unfortunately, you're not going to get the other two topics that I wanted to talk about today. Luckily, I've got next week off, so I'm going to go and do a fair bit of writing and a bit of vlogging for you guys and girls. So as you can see here, guys, I've got a new camera mount, and it sucks balls. I'm here cracking up some wheelies, and I didn't even know until I got home and checked the footage. There's a car behind me the entire time, so hopefully they weren't, angry people and jotted down my number plate and dobbed me in or anything like that. That would suck. But anyways, the topic I'm going to talk about right now is trails and tracks for beginner adventure riders. What type of trails should you be hitting? Would you throw someone in the deep end straight away, or would you baby them a bit more? Now, when I'm saying for beginners, I'm not saying for the novice. There's not much of a difference between a novice rider and a beginner rider. Novice rider may possibly have been riding for 6 to 8 months, maybe a year, I don't know. But I prefer beginner rider would be someone with no background on a motorbike whatsoever. Now, the person in particular I'm going to be using as an example is my partner, Chelsea, or my missus, my wife, whatever you want to call her. She has just recently bought herself a little KLX 140. Yes, it is a little bike, and I look like a behemoth on that motherfucker. It is a baby of a bike, but it's good for her to learn on because it's a little bit less power for her. She's got a better clutch. The clutch is really nice. You can pretty much just drop it and the bike goes, which is not good for when you get onto a bigger bike. However, she's still learning, which is great for her. It's also very low, which means she can touch the ground pretty much flat-footed, which is great for her because it builds up her confidence in her riding and the ability to know how, if the bike's going to fall, she can just step off it. It's not going to fall. She's not going to fall with it. It's not going to land on her. She's very confident on this bike, which is wonderful. Hopefully I'll get some footage up here of her riding. I'm just hoping the clip comes across, but pretty much they're the people I'm talking about. People that have never ridden a motorbike before, not someone that's been riding a road bike and going, hey, I'm going to hit up the dirt. You know how to ride. You know basics. Okay, I'm talking about people that have never ridden a bike before, never used a clutch in a car or a clutch bike or anything like that. And Chelsea's the perfect example. So that was the whole point of today's ride. I was going out to check out some trails because she's starting to get pretty good. She's quite confident on it, and I wanted to take her for a bit of a ride. And I want to take her out to the abandoned bloody shed thing that I found that one time. So that's what I've done. I've gone out trying to find the nicest, easiest way for her to go, but at the same time trying to find a mixture of soils and dirts and terrain for her to ride on so she can get a feel for the different types of soils and stuff. Because me personally, if I was to be thrown in the deep end, I would rather be thrown in the deep end and learn the hard way and go, righto, let's have a look here. Okay, we've got sand. What's that going to do? I'd just cruise through it, and then, I did that when I first got my bike. I went in, coming up to, it was like a dirt road like this, and there's like white. I'm like, what is that? Sand. So I slowed right up. Worst thing to do is slow up in sand because you lose all control. You go into different ruts, your tyres go 2 different ways, and you're buggered. So that's basically what I want to do or what I would like to do, and I don't know how Chelsea will take it, but I'm going to put her into the situations where she's going to have nice loomy dirt. It's going to be nice and grippy, limestone, pea gravel, or just gravel, whatever you want to call it, but pea gravel with the little stones, slippery stuff, boggy stuff, muddy stuff, and bull dust. Basically, bull dust, guys, if you don't know, is just really fine dirt, and it's just really, really shit to ride in. Basically, it's just shit to ride in. But I want her to know what it's like to ride on all the different types of soil, so that when she sees them, she can know how to attack them, pretty much, how to go about getting them. Now, for example, this hill here, pea gravel galore, and it's steep. It doesn't look that steep. I'm using the Super View wide angle that comes with the GoPro Hero 4, and it doesn't know justice. That is steep, and the decline in this bit coming up is bloody steep as well. So that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to really just kind of push her and get her used to the different techniques of going down hills, going up hills. Feathering the clutch is a really good one too that she's starting to get the hang of really good. I got her stuck on a couple of hills last week, and I made her go back into the ditch, so that I knew she'd have to feather the clutch to get out of there. And she did really well. She did really good. She managed to do it really well, perfect pretty much for the first time. She did really well. But yeah, I think when you're just starting out, like I did with Chelsea, I took her to a nice flat area. Still dirt, different types of dirt. There was like I went through before, there was all different types of dirt. So she got to feel the different types and how to handle and how the bike would handle in it. So it was good for her. And I got her on a nice little round circuit track. And I said, all you're doing today is practice your takeoffs, your gear changes, your stopping. I said, do not grab a handful of that front brake at all. Keep your hand away from that, as in case of an emergency. Because if you grab that and get a good handful of that, you're going over. You're going to lose the front end, it's going to dip out, or you'll just go over the handlebar. So keep your hands clear. Use your back brake, okay? So I got her used to taking off, clutching. What else we get? Braking, stopping. Just really went through all the basics of motorbike riding for her, and she really nailed it. So for me, I think the next step for her is to go and hit some trails, and these are the perfect kind of trails that I want to take her on. They're nice and wide for her. There's nothing too dangerous. You can see clear view in front of you. There is a bit of leaf matter and stuff like that, but it's got different types of terrain, which is really good. So I've got a bit of limestone on there, obviously pea gravel. There is a bit of a creek crossing, which will give her the muddy kind of feel for stuff. She's got some steep inclines, hill climbs and descents, which will get her really, good with that kind of stuff. Just make sure she doesn't grab a handful of front brake, and she'll be pretty right. But yeah, for beginners, I think nice wide open trails with a bit of everything on it, and you don't need to go flat chat. Like, I won't be going flat chat, I'll just be cruising either alongside her or just in front of her, because we don't have anything to communicate with at the moment. We've got the SMH3s that we were using, one's died, and for some reason, I don't know why, but to replace just the one is $169, and we bought two for $120, so I don't know what's going on there. So we're going to have to come up with some kind of hand signals, just so I can let her know if there's bumps or crossings or slippery, just so she's kind of prepared a little bit more for it. But yeah, these trails would be perfect. They're nice and wide. There's nothing really obstructing the views of the ground or anything like that. I checked most of the tracks today and just removed a lot of sticks that were across the road. Like, when I say sticks, I'm talking about 10, 15, up to 20 centimetre round logs. So I removed all that stuff, kicked away some rocks. So if she wants to give it a bit of guts, she can. But pretty much that's the perfect trail, I think. When you're just starting out, you're a beginner, you're new to motorbike riding, and you're not really confident as of yet, and you can't really hit those single trails or the more gnarly kind of tracks just yet. Something with a bit of room for error. You want to have something that you can afford to make a bit of a whoopsie and not get completely caned for it. For example, there's two incidents coming up in a second where I did exactly what I just said the whole time. Don't grab a handful of front brake, and I grabbed a bloody big handful and just about ate shit. And then literally 2 seconds later, I do something similar. The back kicks out and it'll come off again. But this track, like I said, it's forgiving. You can have time to mess up, but also have enough time to correct that mess up and go on the straight and narrow, and you're pretty right. There's that there. But I think Chelsea's doing a great job, and I'm really looking forward to going for a ride with her and filming and eventually doing some dual vlogs with her. But I guess the question, I always leave you guys with a question at the end of my vlogs, and sometimes people answer, sometimes people don't. It's up to you guys if you want to, but the question today is, if you had a brand spanking new person, your missus or a child or a son or a daughter, and they're like, oh, really want to get into motorbiking with you, what would you do? Would you throw them straight in the deep end, get them used to the clutch, taking off, braking, all that stuff? Would you throw them in the deep end and just go hell's bells and just wrap it on everywhere? Or would you do something similar to what I'm doing and taking them on some nice easy trails just to ease them in, warm them up, give them some different types of terrain, and go from there, and then slowly integrate the single trails and the more technical stuff once they get a bit more confidence up? What would you do? Deep end or build the confidence? Personally, I would like to build the confidence up a little bit more, but throw a little bit of a mix in there with it too. But not straight in the deep end. I don't think that's the best thing to do. But anyways, legends, there's a question. Drop some answers down below. Really would like to see some answers, but if not, that's all good. I hope you enjoyed the vlog. Sorry it was a talk over. Once again, I do apologise for that. I really don't like doing those, but sometimes shit happens and you have to. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'm Laz, and hopefully I'll see you again soon, but with a live vlog. Cheers.